Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for joining another in our series of cybersecurity career trends. We're interviewing leading experts in this field to get their views on what's going on in the cybersecurity job marketplace. And we can all read a lot about that, but it's changing so fast that what we're doing here is having a 15-minute interview on a weekly basis with someone who can really give you a lot of insight into what's going on in the field. I'm Fred Scholl. I'm the director of the Quinnipiac Master's Program in Cybersecurity. We're fully online. We just started in September. So today's guest is a very special guest, Marcy McCarthy. Welcome, Marcy.
Thanks for having me on your show. Great to be here.
Thank you. I was in Nashville for 13 years and heard so many good things about Marcy, so I'm very happy to have her on the show. She has really helped bring the whole industry together through her work at the Executive Network Group. She's brought together security professionals all over the country to discuss security and help move the whole field ahead. She also is the CEO of another group, ISE Security, which is a security executive recruiting group. And basically, she's active in many, many security groups, and you should know who she is wherever you are. She also, I see from her bio, has been active in the International Consortium of Minority Cybersecurity Professionals, which is extremely important. We all know we need to increase the diversity of the security field. Kind of going back 20 years, we're starting from no diversity, but we're getting there, and Marcy's been one of the ones active in it. So did I forget any key things on your bio, Marcy? I know it's pretty long and impressive here, but.
No, I appreciate you making mention of some of my accolades and background, and I'm incredibly passionate about bringing security executives together through the ISE Awards, and I'm also very passionate about what we do at 10.
Very good, thank you. So our conversation today is again going to be focused on the working professional. I know many of the students in our program and just basically many listeners are in information technology or in business in one way or another, and they may have 5, 10, 15 years experience. They want to move into the information security field. There just aren't enough computer scientists or CIS majors that are graduating from colleges. So the question is, how do we help these people transition into those roles? And so Marcy has been dealing with all levels of security professionals for many years. So I wanted to capture her knowledge briefly by asking the question, what do employers look for in these people that already have a number of years experience in business or information technology? They're not going to come in as an entry-level employee. On the other hand, they don't have the security background in many cases to be directors or CISOs. So what kinds of skills, abilities, or knowledge should these folks emphasize in going out and trying to get into the security field? Any thoughts on that, Marcy?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, we are really in short supply of highly qualified talent in cybersecurity. So what's really exciting about the security profession is the myriad of backgrounds that are coming together, filling those job opportunities, because there is not a one-size-fits-all with everything there. We have people coming from certainly law enforcement, from the 3-letter agencies, from traditional business backgrounds. So it is a real melting pot of cybersecurity professionals are a real melting pot, and we do bring to the table certainly aspects of diversity, whether it be from a minority or women. But your question specifically is, how do we all get there? The paths, again, are not the same. So taking your background and really leveraging your strengths. So if you might be an IT professional, where were you in the IT organization that you brought your skills to the table? For example, if you're a network infrastructure type of individual, your skills are going to translate quite well for network security or Internet of Things. Different ways of different ways of penetrating the perimeter. You might have the technical skills to do pen testing because of your knowledge of how the network works. Other ways of getting there, for example, if you have a coding development type of background, cloud security, as well as application security, web security is in very, very high demand. So I really do encourage those taking a look at doing a skills inventory of the core skills that are being brought to the table, what you consider your absolute strengths, and using those skills as they would translate for cybersecurity types of skills. Because security is essential to the business as well as to the entire infrastructure, and leveraging that across the board. So if you are, another example is if you are a business major, there are companies like ADP that have business information security officers. So they are experts in the parts of the business. And then what they do is work with the information security infrastructure or operations team to build those blocks and those levels of lines of communications to bring forth the strengths and weaknesses of the organization as it relates to cybersecurity and making the business move forward in a much more secure posture.
Thank you. That's great. So do you see, sorry, I had a little phone call there, but do you see,
Okay.
I thought that your comments on business information security is very good. I've, doing searches on Indeed just to see what's going on. Do you see that as a trend that more folks will be moving out of the central sort of traditional information security technology group into business units? Are they already doing that? Will that be a slow trend? Is it an avalanche kind of trend, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, actually, I'm seeing it as a forward-thinking trend. So I'm working with the University of Alabama, for example. We are trying to create within the Culver Business School an information security minor and then moving towards a major. In that, they have information security inside the computer information systems school, okay? But they don't have it inside the business school. So they want to graduate professionals that have marketing backgrounds, accounting backgrounds, as well as security backgrounds, because they feel that cybersecurity is essential to the business. Now, those folks that are going to be coming out of that particular program are not going to be coding, doing your pen testing, working in your security operations center, doing the threat intelligence. That's not that kind of person. We absolutely need those kinds of people, and they're going to come more from a computer, IT, information security, technical type of background, but it's just a different path. One of the things that I've really observed as this industry has grown and as I built my own businesses is we're in short supply of marketing, communications, and sales talent with an understanding of cybersecurity. Now, sometimes there's technology knowledge that can be easily translated, again, going back to like a network infrastructure or how a database might work or how wireless types of technology, easily, again, translatable to information security, cybersecurity, but we're also in short supply. There's a myriad of security companies that are coming out of, let's say, Israel, are being funded here in the United States. We need talented individuals also that have capabilities of doing product marketing, product management, sales engineer types of skills. So it's just not a one size fits all in terms of absolutely, like I said, we need security operation analysts, we need threat analysts, threat hunters. We need the ability to execute on everything. But at the end of the day, we absolutely need all types of skills and all types of backgrounds.
I think that's great. So marketing, communications, and sales skills. So many people may have those skills already in their background, right? And so what you're saying, all the companies from abroad like Israel, what about in an organization if you have marketing, sales, and communication skills? Can those be leveraged? Now you add in a security certification or security degree. Does that give you a step up in working in the field?
I'm a big proponent of certifications. Now, they're not the end all be all. They're not going to replace work experience, but they are going to supplement the door being open. They are absolutely required on a lot of different job requisitions, job descriptions. They are considered essential to having them. But again, they're not going to replace the work experience and the technical knowledge that you need to have it. I actually have a scholarship through ICMCP, because you mentioned them at the beginning, called the Marci McCarthy Cybersecurity Scholarship Program, where we're awarding 2 individuals on an annual basis to have the opportunity to get the CompTIA Security Plus certification. So it basically pays for 2 individuals, again, on an annual basis, to have the test materials and then take the test one time. And I'm really proud to say we have awarded that to 6 individuals to date, with 2 more forthcoming in this fall at the ICMCP conference in Atlanta. And nominations, or applications, I should say, are open now on our website through July 15th. So I encourage those that are women or minority to apply.
Wonderful. Well, yes, I hope that our listeners can do that. On the subject of certification, so in addition to CISSP and CompTIA, are there any other kind of dark horse certifications out there that, because there are a lot of people that have CISSP, is there anything that might distinguish somebody that's kind of in demand and that a lot of people don't have that comes to mind? Or?
Well, it depends on what you want to have. I mean, what you want to pursue. So if you're towards the GRC, risk management kind of component, okay, I would recommend a CISM over the CISSP.
Okay.
I think if you're getting out into the workplace, a Security Plus certification from CompTIA is going to help, set a foundation for you. The CISSP and the CISM, for example, require several years of work experience. You cannot actually go and just take the test. You have to have relevant work experience as part of the test in terms of the certification process. So you'll find that people will have their CISSP or CISMs about 5 to 6 years maybe into the range of and having work experience that is relevant in to the certification process. CompTIA Security Plus certification, for example, does not have the work experience requirement, so it is typically more appropriate for entry-level college grads to set the foundation. It shows the ability to essentially at a level set, that you have the aptitude and understanding of some basic security concepts. It's a door opener. Again, not a replacement for work experience. Great ways to get work experience, if you're a technical type of person, is to do capture the flag type of events. A lot of the ISSA chapters will have them during their conferences or as standalone events. Cyber Patriots has one out of San Antonio. That's really a big one every single year. Highly recommend that. One of my scholarship recipients did a number of capture the flag programs and used that as her, when we kind of dived into her work experience, because her work experience was atypical of someone like working in a restaurant, things like that. That is certainly, when you're getting through school and you're paying your own school bills, that is important, because that puts a roof over your head and food on your table while you're able to study. But taking the extracurricular activities like a capture the flag event and translating that into work experience, what she was able to do is stepped up at each of one of those capture the flag programs, was the project manager or team leader in those programs. Her team would score first or second at number of competitions. They had quite the little reputation built for themselves, but they were getting the technical knowledge, the team building knowledge. She was getting also, because she was the project manager, team lead, the leadership management responsibility. And we were able to highlight that on her resume as actual work experience, and we correlated back to tools that they were using during those capture the flag, programs, because they're using real tools that is relevant to employers. So it's making yourself a lot more marketable.
Yeah, that's a great story. So just be active, real tools, figure out what people need in the marketplace, but also you talked about doing your own skills inventory, right? See sales, marketing, other tech skills. Make sure you've gone through your own inventory, and then you add in security, you add in some of the skills you can get from Capture the Flag and networking, and pretty soon you've got a package that's marketable for security. So let me ask you one other question though. I know you have an event coming up in New York. A lot of our students range from Boston to DC. So talk to me about your event that's coming up in October in New York City. Who can go? And is it invitation only? Is it open to register, outside? Talk a little bit about it.
Sure. So right now our call for nominations are open for the ISE Northeast Awards. And this across the board, what we do at our ISE award programs is we're showcasing and honoring security executives and project teams and doing so on a national and a regional basis. So the one that you're particular mentioning is the ISE Northeast Executive Foreman Awards, which will be held at the West End Times Square on October 4th in New York City. Those that are eligible to attend our program need to be cybersecurity executives and professionals that are typically a manager and above that are employed by what we call an end user company. So a company that would be potentially consuming, influencing, or buying security technologies. So if you work for a security solution provider, whether it be a vendor or consultant, we would want you to sponsor the program. And we have sponsorship opportunities as well. So if you are strictly a student, unfortunately, you would not be eligible to attend, but if you are affiliated with an employer and are a manager above, we'd love to have you join us at our program, and there's absolutely no cost to attend our program if you are meeting those criteria. I also would encourage you to visit ten-inc.com to see how you can nominate a cybersecurity executive or professional in project team. Because again, we're accepting those nominations. I believe strongly that recognition and visibility for cybersecurity executives and professionals is how we continue to catapult our industry ahead. That we focus on being a real positive industry versus somewhat of a negative industry. I always say your best day is when nothing happens. And if that happens, it means you're doing your job well, and you should be promoting all the great work that you're doing.
Thank you so much, Marcy. Thank you for being so positive yourself and joining in this conversation. I really enjoyed talking with you. And so listeners, I think follow what Marcy's suggestions were, and you've got many different paths into the security field. And that's it for this show. And join us again next week for another conversation with another cybersecurity expert on career trends. And have a great afternoon, folks.
Thank you for having me.